The Defenders of the Black Hills is a group of volunteers without racial or tribal boundaries, whose mission is to ensure that all of the provisions of the Fort Laramie Treaties of 1851 and 1868 are upheld by the federal government of the United States. In doing so, these volunteers are also upholding the Constitution of the United States, which, in Article 6, states that treaties are the supreme law of the land. Until the treaties are upheld, the actions of the defenders are to restore and protect, preserve, and respect the environment of the Black Hills and the surrounding treaty areas to the best of our ability.
Treaties are generally in the area of supreme law, all because the treaty itself, made under the authority of the United States, places the entire legal issue squarely resting upon the United States Constitution as its foundation of arriving at a legal understanding, one legal understanding.
The 1868 treaty, again, was a peace treaty between the United States government and my people. And yet, that treaty, that supreme law, that agreement that was made and agreed upon by my people in Fort Laramie, foresaw the fact that one day this whole area would be set aside for the undisturbed use and occupation of the Lakota people as a sovereign nation. And yet you have laws that were passed without the consent of our people that no longer recognized our people as nations. They only looked at them as domestic, dependent nations. But the treaty itself, the 1868 treaty, we continue to hold that it's there, and it's always going to be there for our people to utilize for its full benefit. We just have not exercised it yet.
The sacred lands where our people used to worship and give offerings, I wonder a lot of times if those ancestors, those spirits there are looking for our people, wondering where have we gone, where the people gone. And I want to go back to these sacred sites and put offerings down and let them know that we're still here. We're still in this area. And those things wander through my mind. But the Black Hills is really is an important base for our people. That's what I want my grandchildren to know, to go on for the future generations.
One of the most sacred words that we have as Lakota people is called Ogala. Ogala means to return. And what that means is to return to the place where we came from. And that's Wind Cave.
In the origin stories of the Osheti Shakoi, there is a story of how we came onto the earth. We came out of a special place. It's now called Wind Cave, where we came up into the earth and we took the form of human beings or two-leggeds. Wind Cave is one of the most sacred places to us, and yet today it's a tourist attraction. They build parking lots over the top of it which leak water, and that's contaminated with gasoline and oil and pollutants, and they drip down into this sacred cave. Children climb all over it who have no knowledge of the place they are at. Although the 1868 treaty was a final treaty made between the Great Sioux Nation and the United States, in 1874 the United States sent Lieutenant Colonel George Armstrong Custer with a military expedition into the Black Hills in violation of the 1868 treaty to compile a report on the minerals that might be found there, as reports of gold had been coming out from miners who had sneaked into the area.
This illegal act by George Armstrong Custer was the first violation of the 1868 treaty and has led to over a century of destruction of the sacred Black Hills.
There are many minerals in the Black Hills. it wasn't just the gold. There's silver, there's nickel. They even blow up huge monoliths of feldspar to create porcelain for dishes and sinks. Homestake Gold Mine was the first gold mine that really became the biggest one, although there were from 200 to 400 mines dug into the Sacred Black Hills. Homestake Gold Mine is the biggest one. It has a huge open cut that people can see right in the town of Lead. But the bigger one, the larger, deeper one, that it was drilled right into the heart of the Black Hills, goes down 8,000 feet. The Black Hills have been sacred to Native people for over 11,000 years. In a little over 100 years, under management by the U.S. Forest Service, almost 100% of the Black Hills has been logged. There are more than 8,500 miles of roads in the Black Hills, in a national forest. Because the scenery in the Black Hills, these oldest mountains in the world, is so beautiful, tourism and housing development are on a rampage going through the Black Hills. It's almost impossible to find an area that hasn't been touched by either roads, houses, cattle grazing, or some other form of human contact. Beaver Park was a roadless area that was opened up to logging 2 years ago. Over 1,400 acres have already been clear-cut. And yet, in this area, there are more than 1,700 sacred sites, and the vast majority of it has never been surveyed by the Forest Service. The current forest management plan is calling for 1 tree per every 70 feet.
We adjust to the way she's going to be. And in this fashion, it's harmony. We live in harmony with Mother Earth, with everything that crawls, everything that flies, everything that walks. And this is the Lakota people, and we're trying to get back to that way, because the way they're destruction to the whole Midwest ecosystem is just gone. And we want to bring that back.
It hasn't just been the hard metal mining that has gone on in the Black Hills. Along the western side of the Black Hills, there are coal deposits. The Powder River Basin is being strip mined for coal, and all the pollution arising from that mining flows over the Black Hills and falls in the form of acid rain. The most recent development within the coal seams along the western sides of the Black Hills are the coal bed methane wells. The Bureau of Land Management says that there will be about 60,000 coal bed methane wells. These wells also have air pollution, but the greater threat is a threat to the water, because in order to pump the methane gas out, they must force water in there, and then the water comes back out polluted. This water is then let to run off into the 2 watersheds that surround the Black Hills, the Cheyenne River on the south and the Belle Fourche River on the north. Although all of the Black Hills are sacred to many nations, the one that is most known to the public is Bear Butte. Bear Butte lies about 8 miles off the northeast corner of the Black Hills. It rises up off of the prairie and was used by the U.S. Cavalry as a landmark. It does have National Historic Landmark designation. Bear Butte was sacred to more than 60 nations from the North American continent.
Bear Butte, because it's so sacred to the Indian people, I think that they should respect that. We need that privacy. You know, they go up there to pray, and that's spiritual. We need the privacy around the area to protect our heritage and the Butte for its sacredness. I think it's really important that we fight to defend for our sacred religious area for the people.
I would encourage all that know of these areas of concern, that they would, help not only in just support of the things that are being done to protect the Black Hills, but into spreading the word of what is really actually going on. Hopefully that things will be brighter. The future will become a good future, and that's what all I can hope on.
Will there never be an end to these Indian wars? Yeah, the treaties get signed and the papers change hands, but they might as well write these agreements in sand. Yeah, I thought it was over, but it's just like before. Will there ever be an end to these Indian wars? Yeah, I thought it was over, but it's just like before. Will there never be an end to this Indian